Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NA qualifiers here for the Rio Masters 2024 Esports World Cup. My name is Owen. I'm joined by T Governor as we get into Apex Genesis versus Four Amigos. But T Governor, how did we get in this precarious situation for both these teams?
The unfortunate reality of North America. They have tried to go up against the two strongest teams, and both teams, they lost. So we currently have the two open qualifier teams.
You're really selling me on the storyline there.
It's a harsh reality. The loss of DPC, the lack of tournaments for
more
the NA region,
more gravel,
more this, more that. They need this, they need that. Just maybe the fact that just unfortunately the region doesn't have the depth like other ones. They don't have the captaining experience to elevate these open qualifier teams to take it to the big guys. They're lacking in so many departments. But now's the time we get to see the real brawl of the region, right? Like you kind of take away the top, the cream of the crop. And now you just get to kind of the slugfest of the, just everyone just fucking battering each other every single time, right? These are like the teams that you'd often see be like the Div 2 to Div 1 teams in NA, or like the fourth place teams in like old school DPC Div 1. Like that, this is what we're watching now. Like just the absolute just scrap. And it would be nice, right? If we like, of course, see in the bracket, this is what I'm talking about here, right? Like the fact that we did see the two teams lose to the Shopifyers and the Nouns, but in an ideal world, the region would be strong enough that we could entertain the idea of a Apex Genesis making the lower bracket run, or a Four Amigos making the lower bracket run, right? But I think we just have to be very realistic that just it isn't the case today, tomorrow, the next month. It really is just
I'm
maybe
on the
at some
lookout
point
for talent. I'm on the lookout for talent. I'm on the lookout for potential. I'm on the lookout for any strategies, because this is kind of your last chance. I mean, obviously, after the Esports World Cup, you've got TI qualifiers coming up soon as well. So I mean, technically, you've got one more chance to try and like squeeze in a big major tournament attendance. But let's be honest, I think Four Amigos and Apex Genesis are also like they're pretty reasonable as well. Of course, they'd love to cause an upset. They'd love to try and like take down one of these big teams, but they don't have the funding, they don't have the backing, they don't have the organization. So it is going to come down to just trying to see what they can do with the tools they have, and see if they can fight up. And beating each other is definitely going to be a kind of a big starting point in this organization. And as well in the NA region, you're always looking to kind of put your head above the water. There's two teams, right? You could maybe make it onto one of those teams if you show yourself to be good enough. So all these players looking to kind of like have strong individual performances as well. So yeah, looking forward to some more cool stuff. What's your favorite thing of the patch so far? What's your favorite broken thing which you think hasn't reached competitive play yet?
Probably Spearbreaker with the bonus move facet.
Shock.
Like, no. Like, sure, blah blah blah. It's most played hero, yeah, all this stuff, But it's like, I think Spearbreaker, I was calling it to be strong before it kind of become obviously strong. When you play a hero a lot, you have reads on it. We have him balanced. It's literally in the name of the facet, and it's like you have bonus movement, 100% knockback amplification, right? The idea is people complain about high ground. Imagine going high ground in a Spearbreaker. When he never strikes you, that's his ultimate. Not only do you get pushed up a little bit, he then just has to have any 4 stuff on his team, himself or an ally, and they get pushed like pretty much an entire screen's worth. Like, imagine being at a tier 3, 1 ult, and now you're deep behind tier 4s. Like, that is the equivalent of like Batrider with Blink, Boots of Bearing 4 stuff, right? Like a Magnus with Blink, Skewer. Like, these heroes, we say at moments can win games, right? Like, the fact that Spearbreaker now with his facet can do that. Of course, the other one's pretty good with the movement, but like, I think there would be at least a moment where a team will utilize it, pair it with Bloodseeker, for example. I don't know. It's pretty cool, but I think there's so many little nuggets throughout the patch that we are nowhere near even finding or entertaining, because people, of course, gravitate to certain things straight away. But there are so many heroes that have like a little niche value that I hope teams, want to unlock that at some point. Maybe in this series, maybe in future series. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. There's loads of stuff you can play around with, like as well. Every hero's got something new to mess with, and I don't know. I don't think we're seeing it yet. I really don't. I'm looking forward to seeing if there is any more to come in the future, and maybe one of these two teams have a strategy to pull out in this series, because now's the time for the Esports World Cup. You don't want to be that first team eliminated from the NA qualifiers. Sammy Boy certainly doesn't. He's yapping away in the lobby chat right now. Neither does Monkeys, who's also been chatting away as well. So there's of course the banter to be expected from the NA region, but we now have a draft, so we can jump into that. Stop looking at our ugly mugs and start looking at the mugs of some banned heroes. Way more exciting.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you see the player names now on the right-hand side of the draft as well. It's like, I think coming into this series, if I ignore the upper bracket games and just purely look on names alone, I would give the edge to Apex Genesis. I think
Apex
there
Genesis.
is, like, Wish Bignum. I think bringing in international players to the scene, when I'm mentioning that, like, the lack of structure that sometimes NA teams have, like, as much as NA teams have, they have people who are captains, they have people who are, vocal players. The issue is they just don't have enough either not understanding, that's maybe the wrong word, but it's not enough international knowledge to be able to apply that to a competitive standpoint, right? Like they're good maybe in like the open qualifiers or like a tier 2 situation, but as soon as they get to like the tier 1 teams of NA, that is when they struggle. And I think at least players like Wish and Bignum, they have so much experience. Like Bignum has, if you go to his Wikipedia page, it's just a sea of teams he's played on. Like there is so many. And then of course Wish, he's played for Manaspa, Brame, Wind and Rain. Is like there's been multiple teams he's played on that have had like pop-off moments, right? So I think these are two exceptional players that can bring an NA team to the next level. Is the combination of Sammy Boy carry, Fade off lane, and Speed 5 the perfect storm of NA players to utilize the Georgian and Ukrainian player? I don't know, but it's like, at least on paper, I just feel like this is kind of like, this is what I expect NA teams to need in the future, is like 3 strong NA players with 2 non-NA players that kind of fix some of the problems the region has due to the lack of, tournament depth, constant, organization support and stuff. It doesn't sound great, the fact that you need to outsource, but I think that is probably going to be the trajectory, at least, to create more moments of NA brilliance where you can't just rely on 5 NA players. I don't think it historically just hasn't really done well for the region.
No,
in the last couple of years at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trend throughout all regions, to be honest. Like everybody does a bit of importing and exporting. It's good to get different perspectives, but yeah. I mean, look at the 2 top teams, right? Like you've got 2 NA players in Shopify Rebellion. You've got hard to call it for nouns. I mean, Gunner's obviously the American in that team. You've got
Canadian. Hello, this is it's like they have just dual nationalities, but technically you say 3.
Yeah.
Yumo himself has 3 nationalities, so
does he?
Yes.
Damn, Nan's got the passport sorted.
They actually have so many passports. Yeah. Damn, they actually have what? Wait, 2, 4, 7, 8, maybe 9 potential passports between 5 players. That's a lot of passports.
That's Tog. That's
they got options
when they go per team. Probably.
Maybe that's what's holding them down. There's too much weight on them. They gotta alleviate some of that baggage to. But anyways, draft wise, we see DK, we see TA. Sure. Yeah, I think leaning on DK first. 7.36 removed his ability to buy Manta, pretty much. His ultimate form does not utilize any of the innates that DK now has. Of course, his hero also got ripped into 3 parts, where before he did a bit of part in everything. Now it's like you need to go for the minus armor strategy, or the cleave strategy, or the minus heal, amp, and slow strategy, right? So you got the green, the red, and the blue. Not in that order, I just rather mix it up, but still. I think personally my favorite is the green, which is kind of coming into it. I kind of saw that one as it's a hit or miss one, but I think green is the best.
I think green is the best. Yeah, it's very powerful, but I don't know. I think anybody, like, competitive games is fine, but anybody coming back to Dota after this patch and going, I'm going to play Dragon Knight, the one hero they made more boring from this patch by taking away abilities and splitting it into 3 different facets. Like, you people are sick.
No. It's not more trust. It's so much better. Like,
what do you mean? The gameplay is exciting. My hero does
the gameplay of Dragon Knight so much
stuff
better.
He used to, guys.
No, but you're thinking it in the wrong perspective. You're looking at it as like ultimates. Like, think about the fact that he now goes like Shadowblade or SMY, and he's going like Satanic. He's like itemizing to be a bit more right-clicky. Like, he isn't just being the I press Manta million miles away and chip down your towers, right? Like, he's got he's got some like class to him now.
He
Like
has
he's an
to
actual
play the
like
game now. Wow.
he's got to play the game exactly. So it's like, if any, I find it
There's a low
exciting.
bar
Like
for
DK
Dragonite before,
players,
I guess.
they can like die. They can make blunders. They can live life now. They actually feel something in the game. They're not just, you know, victim to
Interesting take.
Manta only. Yeah,
I accept your counterpoint.
they have
TA, meanwhile,
personality.
she's been first phase for a little while now.
Yo,
oh, there's your
they were
boy.
listening.
Let's go. They really were.
We'll
And the
see if they
Shaman
go for
coming
the
out as well. Good, good, good.
yeah, a lot of big heroes at least.
Big heroes indeed, man. There's a smorgasbord to choose from to talk about here. I'll start
Which
with
one do you
TA
wanna start
because
with?
obviously she's
Yep.
been the first phase for a very long time now. Shield kind of busted. They were just like, hey, you know what? Let's make refraction good against everything, and nobody can say a good idea or not. No, I'm just kidding. But it is very good, and TA is now in kind of a league of her own in some regards. So we'll see what Apex Genesis have in mind to deal with her. Obviously, Gyrocopter already a pretty decent start. Clockwork going to come in as well. But yeah, you want to. I mean, I kind of feel like we did Spirit Breaker already, but you can give us the short and narrow.
I think Shaman, of course, extremely powerful. If he goes to the cluck facet, it's always a little bit annoying to play into, because when you are about to die, you split into 4 chickens, you control one runs away, 2 kind of stand idle. So it's a little bit disruptive in which one's the real one. Sometimes you just die instantly anyway, because it's like you can't really escape. But other times it really is like
flat cannon chasing you.
Yeah, exactly. But in other cases, pretty cool. So I think Shaman is pretty niche, pretty interesting. We'll see if it really comes into light. And with Templar Assassin, at least, fundamentally the same hero. Did get some changes to refraction in regards to, you know, if does it have like damage block instances, all this type of stuff. It was, you know, it gives barriers now instead. But you know, fundamentally still the same thing. You meld strike, you hurt people a lot. You can just utilize your sonic traps, with the shard to silence people and give vision. So I think TA, you know, fundamentally still extremely powerful when you have heroes to play behind, and you know, Shaman, Spirit Breaker, they will set pace and you'll be able to play behind them nicely. Apex Genesis, at least, they are going for the most well-rounded draft possible, right? You've got a DK in the mid lane, a Clock to bring up a Gyro, that's a standard lane, an Enigma that could easily be the 4 or the 3 right now. A lot of flexibility as well, where technically Enigma could be your support, and then you have Gyro being a position 4, and there's so many options really if they want to get creative, and we'll see where they go. But for 4 Amigos, they don't. I mean, I'd like to see TA go into the Enigma lane, wherever that is. The issue is they don't have last picks. It's going to be pretty hard to follow that.
Yeah, you always got to be wary of that matchup, knowing that there's a counter pick potential coming through. Is TA locked in? TA's still flex, right? She can be carry, she can be mid. Well,
yeah, again, they don't control the flex, but they wish they could.
So, Tiny likely gonna be the carry, TA likely gonna be the mid. Some flex potential between Spirit Breaker being 3, Tiny being 4, TA being carry, TA being mid. Alright, amigos. We'll see what they go for here. I like that they're keeping it open though. That's fruity. I appreciate it.
The issue with 4 Amigos lineup that I see at the moment is just they rely again on pace, right? It's like Tiny needs to get his Blink Dagger to get kills, TA needs to get kills. Like they're all about the jump. Spirit Breaker charges in, Shaman hits the shackles, TA hits the Meld Strike, Tiny hits the Avatar. Like everyone is about the moment. And if they don't kill in the moment, their positioning will force them into a hookshot re-engage or a cogs to contain it with the black hole as well. Sure, there's ways to cancel black hole in the early game, but for Amigos, it does feel like they are gonna replicate what they did at least in game 2 of the series earlier, where it's like get an item each and then it's go go go. And I kind of like that, but also make a mistake or two and suddenly you don't have the damage with your pickoff to eat through a satanic gyrocopter or a Mage Slayer DK or BKB on anyone, right? So I think it will be intriguing to if 4 Amigos can keep up that level of high quality pickoff that their draft is currently presenting.
So final band's coming out now. Troll World going to be taken up by 4 Amigos. Need to get rid of carry by the looks of it. A little bit surprising, but still, again, Apex open with what they can do with this.
I could see a world where it's like Spirit Breaker, TA safe lane, Tiny mid, and then Shaman will enable some type of offlaner. That could be a world that they go down. Would be intrigued to know where they go.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the
what
Slardar ban from
stops
Apex. That's quite
you?
nice.
Yeah. What stops you going Tiny Carry here? It's kind of like the control they have. The only way to beat
True.
Tiny Carry right now is just to kind of kite it out, and they do have that on Apex Genesis, obviously. You've got Enigma, you've got Clockwork. Gyro's not bad at it either. DK can be annoying with the corrosion, so yeah,
It's a very good
I'm
point,
I'm not against moving Tiny out of the carry position here. TA carry.
I mean, they're
something else.
technically flexing TA or Tiny to the end, right? So if they pick an offlaner,
Yeah, that's
then
what I
they
was
can
saying
keep
before.
Tiny or TA, see everything picked, and then go, right? So hence why the Slardar ban also looks very good, right? And yeah, no, I like it. So again, I think offlane is the ideal pick for Four Amigos. What else would really fit the bill of their aggression? I think we don't see Mars too much, but I still think that's probably fine to pick in this type of game. You just need someone to go, hey, this is our fight right now, and Centaur can do it probably a little bit more reliably. But yeah, I think any offlaner that just creates that blink initiation to then simplify the other 4 initiators that you also have drafted would go down pretty well for them. Apex don't really make crazy moves on the map where like Gyro, if he is a core, he farms forward to like push out lane, but then he runs to jungle. DK chips that tower, and if Enigma's core is like, sure, he can come in on him with Eidolons, but it isn't the best. So wow, ooh, a Night Stalker.
Ooh, I like this.
That's pacing. No, I like that.
Yeah.
Especially because like Night Stalker, you start at nighttime, so after the bounty spawn, like you have 5 minutes of good laning, and of course everything's now inverted as well. So yeah, not a bad pick. Pretty cool. Yes, they do get a counter in lane with the Ursa. You just run them down the entire time. Doesn't matter if it's day or night. He's still gonna run at you, get the Fury swipes, and be the anti-melee hero. But I like the concept of it. Have the vision against the Enigma, set the pace, and it's going to be position 5 gyrocopter with the carry Ursa. Yeah. So overall, I like the change up from Apex. We obviously respected the flexibility of the Gyro Enigma throughout the draft, and for Four Amigos as well. It's pretty cool. I think both teams, they've got some stuff that they can really utilize. Of course, this type of game will always be, Four Amigos, they need pacing, they need to control the game. A Night Stalker, if he doesn't own the game, will just die later down the line. His lane is also potentially difficult. And I've already mentioned how there's so much initiation needed for Four Amigos that if they blunder, it can also be quite difficult. So yeah, I think Four Amigos, everything has to go right in the early game to set the pace, to get the early Roshans, and utilize Night Stalker correctly. If it doesn't happen, I'm expecting Apex to probably scale very nicely in this game.
I was keeping an eye on Monkeys. He was trying to bait them a little bit. Maybe he had the other talent, the other facet queued up for a bit, but he just swapped to Night Rain, so he is back to being on night mode to start with. But Spirit Break has indeed gone for imbalanced, so we get to see some nice 4-staff plays coming out potentially, if that's going to be an option for them. So that's going to be a fun one. So yeah, should be pretty entertaining one. Yeah, does the Night Stalker survive the lane? Do you just get what you can out of the nighttime and then just leave when it turns daytime? I feel like that kind of has to be the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, you do have a tiny, luckily, to at least help you a little bit, right? You've got the toss back to disengage just a little bit.
It'll be mid. It's double king tiny, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is.
Roseanne is the plus 4 on Spirit Breaker.
Yeah. Sorry, I misremembered who was playing what. Who was the 4 then? What hero?
Spirit Breaker.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be a tough lane, boys.
That sounds like an awful lane.
yeah. That ain't it. Sorry, yeah. For some reason, I just didn't look at who was playing Tiny. I just blindly assumed for no reason that it was position 4. Anyways,
all good. Let's get into it. Game number 1 here in the lower bracket. Of course, this is a lower bracket matchup as well, so the loser does get eliminated from the Esports World Cup qualifiers. The winner gets to go on to face against Nouns, which is no easy task. So we'll see how that one goes down. But yeah, gonna start things off with the 5-man smoke on each side.
Will they bump into each other?
I hope so. Good luck, have funds come out, but Samson? Sammy boy? Quickly, are we calling him Samson or Sammy boy? Or Sam? Or Sammy? Or Saminator? Samuel?
Probably what he's typed up at the moment, Let's him with some Samson.
Makes my job easy. Yeah, seems like there's not going to be any clashing here. Which I think makes sense. Neither team is like an incredible level 1 team, to be honest with you. Also,
yeah, I think
daytime. Wow. Because the inverted day
for
night
now.
cycle.
Hold up.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird to see
Yeah,
a daytime before the horn, you know?
that is true. I just like when it goes nighttime instantly. That's why I live for. It's so nice.
I enjoy the Dawnbreaker innate as well, and just seeing
So
the
good.
brightness all the way.
Oh,
Wow.
look at it. It's nighttime. No, I think
Good luck,
Valve, to be
have
fair, has
fun,
done a great
kid.
job at changing up some of like the vibes. You know, like having like heroes look at vision in that capacity. Like obviously, vision is so key for the game, and then you have heroes that see all based on daytime. You have inverted day-night cycles, and that is very small concepts, but very cool nevertheless. And
oh, he gets bashed. Ouch. Yeah, trying to stop them blocking the wave and isn't successful. I mean, it's still going to go under tower, but
already killing couriers too.
This one. Yeah.
Don't say it's two couriers.
Wait,
Come on,
whoa.
courier.
Oh my god, illegal.
It was very illegal. But already you can see, based on the vision given from Spirit Breaker, right? He planted a deep ward behind the lane. He's gonna kill couriers. He might skip a wave. Like he respects that this is gonna be, a difficult lane for a Night Stalker. And already, I'd argue it's going pretty well for them, getting some decent pressure on Ursa, forcing out some regen. We'll see how they want to opt to play the lane, in the upcoming minutes or two. But
play the lane or survive the lane?
They have a chance to play the lane if they get level 2 first, because they are very tanky to eat through Rocket Barrage early on. I think level 3 is when Apex Genesis enjoy the lane the most. Again, looking at top lane just for a little bit, we do get to see the Tiny versus Enigma with that tree, even with the Shaman having good damage as well. Like these Eidolons, they aren't going to be as disruptive as other lanes. And that's why the flex of TA Tiny always felt very nice. No matter what, you're going to have a lane with wave clear to deal with this Enigma.
And just to clear up, there was only kind of like half a jab Sammy Boy calling RCY a kid, because he is literally 17. Like, he's very, very young. So, kid not entirely out of place, but also a little bit of spice coming out. You like to see it.
Didn't they also play? Wait, did they play on a team together? Play on Wildcard together at some point? Pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. There you go.
I'm gonna give that a yes.
Yeah, no, I think they did. Memory serves me well. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these players at some point have probably.
They
played against each other an unhealthy amount of times. Yeah.
Yeah, Rare to do Quiet Start, which I think is kind of a favor to the 4 Amigos. Again, still wondering who that one who isn't the Amigo is, but maybe we'll find out one day.
One day we will, but I think this type of start, it really does favor. It's too early to say, honestly. I could sit here and maybe say that, but Monkey's forever. He steps up for the Lotus and Blood Grenade Barrage.
This hurts. He's going to use that Lotus to try and keep himself alive. In comes a Spirit Breaker. Oh, knocks him back behind the Gyrocopter and actually stops him being able to connect with any more clicks onto Monkeys Forever. So, Night Stalker going to survive for now. It's up at the top side. It's going to be Albino Zebra that goes down instead. Fade gets the kill. The Cogs was enough to get the kill onto the Shaman.
Yeah, Chickens as much as Shaman can enable the Tiny, right? The Clockwork is a natural counter. As soon as you get on top of a Shaman, he's always going to die. Pretty much at all points of the game. Even if you get the Shackles or the hook shot, and Bignum, with the experience, able to capitalize on a nice little kill there.
Just like the deer and the lion in nature. The Clockwork and the Shaman in Dota.
Shurika kind of like poking his head mid. It won't feel great. You need Wish to be standing on the enemy steps to get the kill, but as soon as he leaves, that's where Speed and Samson is going to dump into him.
It's kind of this awkward thing, right, where you feel like you need to move mid because you're a Spirit Breaker, but also like it's a DK.
You can't,
like, oh no, you stole the DK's water runes. Oh well. Oh, double king. They're not going to find him, but they are going to force him out of lane for the time being. Tango's up, coming in quick.
Yeah, this is Spirit Breaker loves playing either super static games where he can just pull the hard camp, get some levels, he like pokes a hero here and there, or mids that he always can pressure. And right now he's charging onto Wish.
Yeah, he's going to get the stun out onto the TA. Is that going to keep him alive, though? RCY continuing going. He's actually out of mana for a refraction here. Going to need to bottle up at the right point here if he's going to finish this kill. Does do so. Right click's coming through. Wish is going to go down. Double King does die on the top side in the meanwhile, but still big kill in the middle lane.
Yeah, he didn't have his branch in his backpack, in his inventory, sorry. So he wasn't able to like eat a tree, plant a tree, maybe do some, juking, but yeah, not to be the case. And finally, after so much, pressure from Roseanne, like he wanted to kill a couple times, and finally it connects.
Oof, and that's like a wave and a half under tower, 2 range creeps as well. RCY is able to deny all of those out, so that's a really bad time to die on the Dragon Knight. That's why diving feels so good if you can get away with it. No TPs coming in from Apex either, which is really interesting.
Now before when Night Stalker would struggle for 5 minutes, then do well.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite now, right? Like, he's got double brace of boots because of the nighttime. But now it's daytime at minute 6. He doesn't have, of course, nowhere near ultimate. So this Night Stalker really just won't have a lane. This Ursa last pick, very quick pick as well, 38 for 12. Has shut down, and they're going to Cogs Double King in top lane. He leaves, he pushes back again. Oh, nice cog control there.
Monkeys has gone down in the bottom side to Sammy Boy, but Double King also dies at the top side, so 2 kills across the map here. They need to get a bit of revenge, and I'm just not sure they're going to find it. 4 Amigos turning up to the top side, but not an awful lot they can do to force them out, so Fade's just going to keep the pressure coming, and honestly, this is a huge win here for Apex. They've been able to get a kill down at bottom and at top, so this is kind of going to completely nullify the mid matchup going in the TA's favor. And honestly, now that they are 6 on the DK, like if he has his ultimate up, it's very, very hard for RCY to actually step up on him. Mind you, I might be thinking about old patches. I'm not sure about how new refraction functions with it, but RCY is keeping its distance.
Yeah, so it is, he gets a barrier, which still grants him, health. It's kind of the same thing, just different wording. He has a health barrier that refreshes every time it goes down, but then if it has an instance, it does. So, in essence, it's fundamentally still, the same logic. It's just a lot of little 40 health barriers, not full damage breaks. So I guess mechanically it's the same thing, but in reality it's not, because obviously it does less. There we go.
Okay, but how does it interact with corrosion from the DK?
Just he would need to lose. Yeah, he needs to lose 40 HP to lose an instance, and he has 5 of them. Yeah. So it basically just becomes a 200 HP barrier total, rather than it being a 4 infinite damage blocks, basically. So it is a nerf to the hero.
Why has the hero been so popular then? Is it just due to the whole, like, you get more damage from it, right? Or something?
Yeah. And also the toolkit is insanely good. You get meld strike, you've still got side blades, your trap silences, like everything about TA is still very good.
God, I hate that shard so much. Oh, Wish stepping up, but there is a charge coming across, but Roseanne's going to think twice off it, especially with speed coming in around the side as well, just to help out.
And just for clarification, I think I might have oversold how nerf, because he just right-clicked him like 3 times and it kept ticking back up to 50. All right, I'm gonna go back to the lobby and test exactly what the hell this does. Because reading it, I read it as one thing, but now watching it, I'm like, wait, this does not act like I'm reading it. So please hold, boys.
All right, some testing going on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Movement on to Wish, and this time, well, they might be able to bring him down. They need a little bit more lockdown, though, and they're not really finding it. Fade's coming in as well. You don't want to fight into this black hole, and they know it. Just turning tail and running on the side of 4 Amigos. The rocket coming in for Roseanne probably won't finish the job, though. I think the Zebra's not there to kill it off. Oof, down to 50 HP, but yeah, keeps him alive.
Yeah, like the move from Apex Genesis. It's just a nice move, right? It's like the whole idea is when you're Night Stalker, I'll get onto that point in a minute, but when you have these heroes that can't help each other out, like Tiny Carry wants to farm, TA Mid needs to farm, Spirit Breaker wants to gank but can't gank to farming heroes, right? It doesn't really work out. Shaman is under leveled, and then because of that, this offlane Enigma, he just wants to move mid, join his DK, take a tower. They already take top tower. Like anywhere these heroes go, they'll take moves, and that is where it gets to my more important point. So far, this is our 3rd game of covering 4 Amigos. And I think my biggest read so far is just Monkeys Forever has been playing heroes that naturally need to farm. Like they need 15, 20 minutes of grace to feel alive in their game. Or you dumpster the lane so hard that you like take over the game. And we're not seeing the latter happen so far. And I think at least right now he's demonstrating trying to open up the game a little bit earlier than we've seen him in the first 2 games of the day. But he has smoked across the entire map. He needs to find kills to make this worth it.
It gets really awkward if you don't. But Fade, you know, could be a decent target. They're seeing Bignum here. Nice catch from Bignum there with the cog kind of holding back Monkeys. Monkeys going for the big kill onto the Enigma, utilizing the double silence here to try and bring him down without the threat of the black hole, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it. The man's got no farm, the man's got no damage, the man's got no stuns, and now the black hole's going to come down onto Monkeys Forever. Sure, they'll finally bring down Mignum on the backlines, but they're coming. They want to bring them down. Apex starting the chase now. The homing missile coming on through. Double King going to be the target of this gank. And, well, they're going to surround him. Roseanne comes flying on through, just throwing his body in, trying to get them off his tiny. But it's just not going to work. Speed, body blocking up right now. It's a nice avalanche, but I don't think it's going to stop the inevitable. He's getting under the tower, though. I mean, he's gone a long way, but Sammy Boy running through with the phase boots and able to finish him off with a 1-level Earth Shock.
Yeah, it's... What can they do? For Amigos, like their entire concept was about, you know, strong lanes, being able to farm up. You know, TA wants to push out lane against DK. Tiny wants to prevent Enigma from farming top. But as soon as that crumbles, as soon as there's a single element of falter in that plan, their draft just kind of comes tumbling down. They don't help each other out in any way. They try to make a big move, they gank to top, but there's so much tankiness, there's so much efficiency in Apex Genesis play that they don't fall victim to this at all. And now they're going Roshan. It's 11 minutes into the game. How often do you see Ursa actually do like Roshan this early? Sure, he can do it, but we don't see this that often. But they have Eidolons, they got Vlad, they got Drum.
11
they're
minutes,
taking it.
It's crazy.
It's incredibly quick, and this is now 3rd game today that we're going to be talking about for Amigos, and their best play now is just to kind of avoid the entire map and try and farm up where possible. They are charging onto Sam's Speed, sorry.
Yeah, they're going to be able to bring him down pretty quick, but Sammy immediately coming in and looking for a bit of revenge, but the shackles are out onto Sammy Boy. RCY is here as well, but he's got that enrage, happy to use it on his first life. I mean, this is an Aegis Ursa. Do you really want to bring him down? I don't think so. In comes another strike, but it's just going to be Roseanne once again into the meat grinder of Apex as they lose 2 heroes once again.
Oh. They just don't have the damage, right? Like they're diving again. They kill off a gyrocopter, but at what cost? Right? It's very minimal gold changes. Spearbreaker is like the big winner for Dire side, but then Ursa and DK also profiting from Formiga's aggression.
Being caught just a little bit here in the middle lane. Can't blink out. The hook shot was there from Bignum to make sure Blink was not available, and they will be able to bring down RCY.
It's pretty rough. There's not really much to say for 4 Amigos now. Like, they're in kind of despair state. And if I look at the items they're buying, it's also not really installing confidence into me, right? Like, sure, Echo Saber Tiny, that makes sense, right? But I kind of click on Monkeys Forever, boss. And it's not like his item... If we want to click on the Night Stalker, it would be great. Yeah... I don't know if the phylactery at like 19 minutes is really going to inspire the comeback potential. But also, there's not really many items Night Stalker can buy to inspire you when you're behind, right? Like, it really is a must-win lane. Well, not, again, you don't really win lanes on Night Stalker, but it's more like must-survive lane well enough to then get into like a phase boot 9-minute position of
I mean, he tried to get that gank going, didn't he? Like, he tried to make that move up the top side. Apex just read it too easily.
Yeah. Now he's buying for that.
Pushed it a little too hard as well, trying to bring down the Enigma, who ultimately was just too well positioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see if it really pays off.
Rest in peace, Monkeys Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bot lane, Monkeys Forever is going to fall down. A lot of damage to come out from this Ursa, from this Clockwork. Putting the Night Stalker to sleep once more. And these are nighttime ganks as well. Like, this was your last chance to get a kill at the nighttime. Now it's going to turn to day, so that gets awkward. And like, sure you have Dark Ascension, but you always want to be hunting in the nighttime because you've got that bonus vision to play with. You can just set up onto heroes so much easier. But, you know, in the position he's in, felt like he just wants to get one item before they go for another play with him. But, yeah, that's going to be even harder now that he's died once again. Big number on the top side being ran out by Roseanne, but Wishes there, blink in, the Corrosive Dragon just eating away that poor Spirit Breaker.
It kind of feels now that, like, I look at 4 Amigo's lineup and it's like, what would happen if the Tiny was mid, going for like Blink Dagger, the TA was carry, then you have like double ranged heroes to fight up against the Gyrocopter. You don't really care about Clockwork as much. Then you have the mid lane. Sure, DK Natural will still take your tower, but at least it will give you that moment of, I have Blink, I can play with Night Stalker, we have combos to utilize. I guess fundamentally the Ursa pick will always be a thorn here, because like, do you really want to pick Tiny mid to then jump an Ursa in late game? No. Do you want your TA to be a carry tank? No. But also inverted ways where you have Tiny carry TA mid, you know, have your mid and carry doing the same thing, right? Itemizing for physical damage, scaling, time, watching bot lane again. Monkeys Forever is the victim of their aggression. He dies once more. Like, the only thing Apex Genesis needs to do in this game to feel good is identify the only playmaker. And again, it's Monkeys Forever. 3 games in a row, he is the playmaker. Kill him, there is no game.
Peace speed, or maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Oh my goodness, the turnaround is there. Fade coming in as well, and they set up onto RCY also. This game is, it's kind of over to you. Like,
yeah, no, it. Out of all the games we've seen 4 Amigos play, this is probably the draft. I even said in the draft, if they don't control the game and have all the you know, they don't hold all the chips, then it gets difficult real quick. Like the scaling of Apex Genesis, the tankiness that they can create, there is no jump to make. And now they're smoking up with the Night Stalker and Shaman. I don't really know what they're smoking for.
Phylactery's not even online, T-Governor. What can they do?
Don't talk to me about this. It's too
it's too late.
It's too late.
This is not a 1 AM topic of conversation. It
deep.
kind of is.
Yeah. Hold up. The wraparound?
Hold.
Oh,
The
oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Not the same target. That's fine. Monkey's going to try and run away. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, there's a bear upon him. Bears eat bats. And now beautiful cogs coming out from Bignum as well. They'll take down Zebra with ease. Double King going to be the next target here. Pew, pew, pew. Swipe, swipe, swipe. The Gyro and the Ursa eliminate Double King. I don't know, man. I feel like there might be a couple of G's paying it to pop themselves into the old chat pretty shortly. I mean, they'll play this one out, I'm sure, but...
Like, don't forget, we had an 11-minute Roshan. We now have a 17-minute high ground siege in which Glyph has been used. That's not getting reset until Immediate Access Fallen. Like, this is... Whew.
Smackdown. I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were going to have, like, you know, 3 back-to-back 70-minute games, you know? You and me casting till 5 AM. I would see sunrise with you,
I don't think that's to be the case.
Damn it.
I mean, that's pretty early in England, to be fair. Like 3, 4, we'll get it. So yeah, it could be happening. But like, when I look at these qualifiers and I look at the teams, like, as much as Apex Genesis did get absolutely picked apart by Shopify in the upper bracket, I still give this team like pretty decent stead. Like, I would argue that they are of course the 3rd place team in this qualifier, but I could see a world where they take Nails to 3 games. Like, I easily could see that world.
Sure. Double King, he's not looking so hot right now. Tries to enter a fight, gets torn apart by the Ursa. Fade gets the kill. Now they'll look over for more. Roseanne's going to be that more. Goes down as well. I'm glad we're just getting a straight-up Ursa carry game as well. You know, I didn't want to wait like 40 minutes for Sammy Boy to have an amazing start and then be like, okay, let me get my Wind Waker, Octarine, Ags finished
he's just
up.
going for Monkeys Forever. Oh, he got
Phylactery. He is up onto the high ground. Okay, surely this is too far. He's looking a little bit in trouble now, and yeah, that one's going to get punished.
That is, like, to be fair, that is a very... Of course, it's cocky, but it's quite an insulting move to make. You know, like, if they're playing up against if Apex is playing up against Shopify or Nouns, they're not making that move. Like, that is the underlying logic that I would argue is an issue here. Because, like, I feel like they should take this game super seriously, right? Like, if they are winning, if they're crushing, show us the game in which they don't make any of these haha, lol, we're beating you, 20 minutes, too easy type gameplay, right? Like if they make these moves now, they're probably going to make a type of mistake against a good team, right? So
it wouldn't be an NA series if it wasn't for that play. You know, that's the bread and butter right there.
Was I being
another
too
fight.
realistic? Sorry. My bad. All right, we can give it. Sorry, I got too real for a second. Let's go, boys.
But they're still going. Their Ursa is dead, and they do not care. They've already killed off the Shaman as well, and on the backlines as well. They're going to be losing the Spirit Breaker, and there comes a Black Hole out onto the Tiny. A messy fight from Four Amigos. They thought they had an opportunity, but they are just too far ahead on Apex Genesis. Run, monkeys. Forever running, never escaping. Feels like.
Oofed. Yeah, so I feel like every time we stop talking, they keep fighting. So,
yep. Do
you want to go quiet for a second so we can start a fight?
Okay.
Bash?
Oh, that was first hit bash, and that was some like.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Did he even have a basher? He does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Oh, smack. I love watching those rockets. What's your favorite projectile to watch cross the map?
Oh, I mean, it's of course Witch Doctor Cask.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. Because the potential of it just bouncing just the right amount when you land on the TP, just going sounds so good. Phylactery.
Whoa! Look at it go! Yeah, it didn't do anything, and he died. Two heroes dead. High ground looking very tempting right now. This might be Wish playing Dragon Knight, but it's no Wish Dragon Knight.
I do need to, of course, give a little bit of fair. Like, the reason why Monkeys probably went for this item is because the state of the game was so bad that he probably was like, if I can get it quick enough, then fight, you know. I don't like it at all. I think it's probably the wrong logic you need to get back into a game. But also the game was so lost to some degree at that point that he could have bought like Blink. He'd still die. He still wouldn't contribute, right? Because again, the fact that his tier and Tiny couldn't do anything, it's like it's easy to look at the Night Stalker in this game because of how absent both the mid and the carry were, right? And as I say that, we
the ward trap, but against an Ursa, it just doesn't matter.
Yep, he can just jump out. So the fight continues. The game is being prolonged with the 31 kills to 6, 22,000 gold all the way of Radiant.
No funny numbers either.
No funny numbers. Oh, yeah. Couple funny plays though, which
there's been a few.
Yeah.
RCY. Uh-oh, getting jumped right now. Hookshot does get blocked a little bit. Beautiful charge coming through onto all of them, but again, it just doesn't matter. You can land your spells as well as you like. It doesn't change the fact that you are 24k gold behind. Your barracks are getting destroyed. They're going to get the mega creeps. There is not a lot stopping them. Fortification available from the Four Amigos. They're holding it for now. And then the
GG has been called.
Just go next.
Yeah, overall, very clean game from Apex Genesis. I think, of course, other than the one Ursa dive on tier 3, which made me, you know, hit some real analysis for a second. Other than that, no, I'd argue it's a very, very good game. I mean, being honest, then, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I just don't like Four Amigos drafting at all. Like, 3 games in a row now, all 3 have made me very uncomfortable. It is lacking the depth and kind of complexities that I would expect to see from a closed qualifier. I think Apex Genesis, of course, they did lose to Shopify, but in this game they showed a draft that had some nuance to hiding positions of roles, can cover each other with the early aggression that I love to see with scaling as well. So I think for Four Amigos, if they are to be competitive in a series, they are going to have to step up on that drafting role. And I think if the best way to approach it is probably allow Monkeys Forever to play an offlaner that fights a little bit more in lane, that can enter the game. I feel like so far 3 games out of 3, his mid and carry want to farm. He also can't really break into the game. So then you have like 3 farming heroes, then getting picked off because no one can fight to prevent the aggression, and it's just lost. Yeah. So yeah, lots of work for Four Amigos to do in this break before they potentially are eliminated. And of course, Apex Genesis, strong NA players, good 2 additions, doing well. Low bracket starts here. It's kind of like a tier 3 game, tier 2, then tier 1 game, right? Like it's a clear step up each time if they are to make any run.
I just feel like with Apex Genesis especially, you can just tell there's like a lot more thought going on. There's a bit more planning going on behind the drafts. Like I don't know if that's just like, the results bias coming through, but a lot of their draft makes sense. And a lot of what they're doing makes sense, and it seems to fit together really well. And it does just kind of resemble a better team than the level they're playing at right now. So yeah, definitely looking for them potentially taking game two. Of course, don't want to jump into conclusions just yet. I'm sure Four Amigos still have some fight to bring, so we'll see what they can bring to the table, guys. We're going to throw it over to a quick break. Then we're going to be back with game number two. Can Four Amigos keep their head above the water, or is this the end of the road for them? They get eliminated from these qualifiers. We'll find out in a bit. Aloha, friends, and welcome back as we get into game number 2 of Apex Genesis versus 4Amigos here in the lower bracket of the North American qualifiers for Riyadh Masters, the Esports World Cup. A lot of money on the line if you do make it to the event, but it's a long, tricky road for these teams, especially as they both lost their opening matches against Shopify Rebellion and Nouns, respectively, and now must play against each other for the honor of fighting against Nouns to once again prove themselves worthy. But it's a tricky situation, especially for these guys. I mean, it's just an extremely stacked region on the top 2 end, and on the bottom 2 end, they just don't mean the mark. But, you know, we did see some nice things coming out from Apex Genesis in game number 1. You know, if they can really demolish 4Amigos again like that in game number 2, then I might be saying, like, it'd be an interesting matchup against Nouns. You know, I'm not gonna go as far as to say they're gonna beat them or anything, but, you know, they could take a game or they could threaten a game at least, which would certainly make
Yeah.
the series interesting.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that after the first, set of games that we've seen so far, there is a clear Shopify looks the strongest. Nouns is second. Apex is third. 4Amigos is fourth. Like, there is no wishy-washy answer where it's like maybe this team, maybe that, right? Like, the way in which certain teams, like, yes, I think in the Shopify Nouns series, like, Nouns were in the ahead at least in game 1. Then they kind of threw away the game to, of course, some comeback plays from Shopify, some nice map moves and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I think we are in a very clear, one of the clearest regions, at least in regards to that. And at least in recent qualifiers as well, Nouns have struggled to beat Shopify. And I think for Apex and now, as we are moving to the draft shortly, I think this is like the perfect recipe for needing to make improvements every series. Like I said it at the post game of the last one, like Apex Genesis versus 4Amigos, like that is like a good starting block, right? You beat them, the next opponent is the second place team. If you beat them, it's like first place. It's not as if there's like some crazy world where like it's gonna it's a weird bracket where it's like hard teams. Like every single team progressively gets harder, which is like what you perfectly want for a low bracket, right? Like you don't want this like weird block to prevent your progression, right? So I think Apex Genesis are the team to potentially create some chaos against Nouns. I think of course Shopify are the final boss that will probably be too much to overcome, but I still think the journey there could be very exciting, and it really does boil down to what happens in this second game.
And now we are into the draft for game number 2 as well, so we can see exactly what's going to be going on here. Of course, I'm not expecting hugely different bans coming out from game number 1, but well, already we do have the Clockwork taken out of the pool by Apex Genesis. This here has been pretty well respected in this region, okay, so so far. So we'll see.
Hmm.
Look at STA as well. You know, it definitely didn't feel like a menacing first pick after all. I don't know if the DK was just like a really good kind of answer to it once it hit that 6. I'm just not sure. But either way, it didn't really tickle my pickle too much.
No, yeah, it was a little bit underwhelming.
I mean, it's hard to say that any hero could have looked good in that game, though, because things just went so badly in the lanes that they never really had a chance to get back into it. So I don't think it's a good one to kind of like measure power levels from, because Tiny we know it can be just giga broken in the right circumstances. Like it's going to get nerfed soon.
That's why, like, when I look at Four Amigos, it's why I'm just a little bit confused with how they're approaching draft. Like, they've got, of course, a lot of pub experience, a lot of, you know, NA DPC experience with different varying teams of qualities and stuff. And it's like, when you put these players together, I want to see just a little bit more calculated aggression, provide that entry to a game with more confidence. And, you know, 3 drafts out of 3 now, it's just, they've got either a Warlock position 5 or a Tiny and a TA position 1-2 combo. They've got an Axe who is the only playmaker who, of course, is going to get shut down because he's diving tier 2s and, you know, not farming his own stacks but trying to farm enemy jungle and stuff. It's like, it's a very disconnected team. Very, very disconnected. So I really hope in this second game, I want to see them just simplify everything. Like, I want to have, like, the mid laner who's a playmaker. I want the safe lane be a 5 enabling support like a Veno or a Bat or a Clock that brings the carry a little bit of life. I want the 4 and the 3 to be like a kill combo, like the Centaur Willow, the Shaman plus Brood type stuff. Any of this logic, right? Then I can see a world in which they can go for a competitive game. But we haven't seen Shadow Fiend at all today. It gets first picked in the draft. It could be the DK prevention pick, because of course we saw DK be the answer to, Shadow Fiend be the answer to DK in 7.35. The raises in lane, it just stops him from wanting to play the game out. But because they're not second pick, like, they can't control this flex, so maybe they just value the hero a lot, and we'll see what they do with it for sure. But pretty cool stuff, and already good foundation. Everything I've been talking about leads with strong opening picks, and Dark Willow, based on that 3-4 pairing that I want, already kind of making the moves towards a good draft.
10 seconds remaining.
Yep, big fan of the Willow pickup here. Always going to be just a stable hero to pull down this sort of situation. Not a good answer to Shadow Fiend, has to be said. Like in this specific matchup, you know, not ideal. It's not exactly like a mid hero which you can just be like, haha, I've Shadow Round, what can you do now? It's like, well, actually half my kit is still going to turn you inside out, little fairy. But you know, you've got that fear, you've got some answers, you're a natural Yules builder as well, which can cause issues with Shadow Fiend, so don't mind it at all in that regard. Also pairs up really nicely with kind of like that going off laner, which I like to see. You know, you shove Bedlam on like a Night Stalker and all of a sudden he is going to have the damage to kill an Enigma as he chases him to the top tower. Won't have repeats of last game with that at least, so always a nice option to have. Yeah, big fan. So
look, all the
easy hero to play with as well. Like, no one struggles with Dark Willow on their team.
It just boils down to what I was saying, right? Like, it's just, you want to have good pairings, good combos, like easy to play moves, right? And that's exactly what happens, right? When you have Dark Willow, it just sets itself up. Yeah, sure, Shadow Fiend can do stuff to you, but
so
it's not ticking some boxes. What's up?
Yeah. So is this Shadow Fiend abusable as a first pick? Because there has to be a reason we're not seeing first phase Shadow Fiend.
Well, it depends on his build, because it is a 9 times out of 10 a mid laner that wants to farm to be a right clicker. You don't see Yules blink Shadow Fiend due to the volatility of the game, the constant skirmishing. You know, locking your mid laner to be a high cooldown hero is not really the best option. So yeah, I'd argue it's just a playstyle thing, where often from your mid lane you want the Storm Spirits or the Void Spirits at least coming back into meta just a little bit, like Zeus as well. Like, any of these heroes are far superior. Sniper as well in 7.35, not so much 7.36, but like, you don't really want to have only farm on your mid lane. And yeah, we'll see if Apex Genesis fix that by picking up heroes in other roles that, you know, bring the game to life a little bit. But yeah, yet to of course show anything. Pretty slow, I'd say, in the banning portion of this draft. They opted to ban the Slardar and the Spiritbreaker. Now 3 offlane bans with 2 gap closing supports, be it the Clock and the Spiritbreaker. I'd argue quite a lot of good bans to deal with a potential Shadow Fiend. Maybe they had this in mind coming into game 2 because that's pretty cool. And oh my god, I think they were listening to me, mate. Legit. 4 amigos have done literally everything they picked so far is exactly what I wanted them to do. I don't know what the delay is on Twitch, but I'm impressed. I wanted strong 4 combo pairings. Willow does it. I literally said, give me a Venomancer 5 to secure a lane because your team's struggling. They did it. All right.
5 seconds remaining.
I am now invested in them winning.
All right, let's go. The 4 amigos comeback arc starts here.
It depends on the next 2 picks, but this is like it. This is what I expected this type of team to do. Like when you're the underdog team, you need to make sure like your lanes are good and you set yourself up to like hit some good beats in the game, hit some good moments, and they just haven't done it yet, and it's why they're in this position.
4 heroes which can kind of just play together, play nicely, you know, combo up together, and then just like one kind of gotcha pick, one flavor pick, just to give me a little bit of pizzazz in the draft. And that's what I'm always going to be looking for. So we'll see if 4 amigos can pull that out of the bag. Meanwhile, we have Crystal Maiden and Shadow Fiend coming out. So yeah, again, Shadow Fiend slightly unconventional, but his 2 biggest lane counters are kind of out of the pool already in the Zeus and the TA. These are the heroes which are just going to lock him into the mid lane because they push the lane as fast as he does and make it really, really hard for him to go out and jungle, because that's ultimately what he wants to do. Farm the wave, go to the jungle, farm the jungle, farm the wave, farm the jungle. That's basically the life of a Shadow Fiend. So
yeah,
should be able to do that. We'll see what his matchup is later. But Apex Genesis is going to go with the Legion Commander. Freshly nerfed, of course, as was necessary, but still a very good hero, especially when it comes to getting rid of these debuffs. And they are going to be really annoying. The Cursed Crown, the Bramble Maze, and almost everything from Venomancer. Legion's going to deal with it pretty nicely.
Yeah, very nice as well, because you know you get debuff immunity with your Agnums. On top of the, I believe what you get, reduced cooldown, increased dual duration, and debuff immunity.
Oh damn!
So you become an absolute menace. So I like the pick a lot. It does give them a lot of moves to make. But 4 amigos, they want to find kills. They want to fight. You've got Sand King plus Dark Willow. I hope Sand King goes for the movement-based sand facet. This is a incredibly good facet because you run around the map. The sandstorm follows you. When you burrow strike, it instantly follows you as well. You can get Aghanim's to just basically keep that flowing. So I like it a lot. And now they have ensured that their lanes. Okay, this is a little bit spooky. I'd argue the troll pick because troll into Legion lane is nice to be able to bully just a little bit, but it can just also go the other way. Like Legion, if you just get some good overwhelming odds off, you have a strong position 4 that also bullies the troll a bit. It can be quite disruptive, especially because this Venomancer has been nullified due to the Dispel of Legion. So it's like you can have overwhelming odds into troll, the Dispel to deal with the Veno. It's less about right clicks for Legion, but more the magic damage, plus the position 4. This troll pick could, you know, hurt them just a little bit, but it does provide momentum, right? It's troll goes forward. If you get your ult off pre-duel, you don't die. Sand King, Dark Willow, Veno, plenty of damage when you play behind the Sand King Blink Dagger. There's no natural frontline right now for Apex Genesis. They have 17 seconds left to pick, so this draft is giving me more confidence for 4 amigos, but it's heavily execution based for sure. Yeah, 6 seconds left. They need to pick a hero. Okay, here we are.
Guys. All right.
Oh, it's a banging Rubik game. Whew.
Good
like,
spells
you
to
could
steal,
he
good
could
heroes
close
to
his
throw
eyes.
around.
Legitimately, he could close his eyes, have quick cast on, and his team just tells him when to press it, and he's gonna steal a good spell. Like that's he's got Bramble, Terrorize, even Plague Ward is pretty good to cancel Blink Daggers. Burrow Strike, it's such a good Rubik game. Okay, this is nice. Double nukes as well for lane. Overwhelming odds plus Fade Bolt into Troll can be very, very good.
10 seconds remaining.
Final bands now to come out. Looks
5
like they're
seconds
gonna need.
remaining.
I mean, chance Shadow Fiend goes safe lane. I would expect it mid, but we'll see what they end up doing with it. But 4 amigos very much needing a mid laner for them. And I feel like they're gonna need like a little bit of extra brawl, a little bit of extra damage just to come in with a Sand King. Like SK does do a lot, but you just want one more body to throw on top of the Dark Willow and the Veno, and you're good. So.
Ooh, okay. Quick update. I've double checked how Wish has played Shadow Fiend mid, and he's been going for Blink into BKB then the Kaya Yasha, because you get the additional cast point.
The cast speed.
So his
yeah.
Requiem will take 20. So it's like a scuffed Arcane Blink. Then he goes for the Ags
5 seconds
or
remaining.
Bloodstone.
Bloodstone.
So, yeah, so obviously AoE, right? Raises
Right.
and then your ultimate as well. So he is going for a magic damage Shadow Fiend, but he's doing it in the way where you're utilizing cast point on Kaya Yasha rather than like doing your setup. So that's a pretty cool Shadow Fiend that I've not really seen yet. So if he does do that in this game, it does open up for a carry pick that is going to be like your big physical damage dealer. Right now, 4Amigos are actually banning out mid laners, so they expect it to be Shadow Fiend carry. But based on my very quick research, this could be a very explosive lineup of Legion jump someone duel, they're dead. Shadow Fiend jump someone, their Requiem, they're dead, right? And behind that, you have a carry to secure the game. So it could be just a lot of assassinations occurring on this map if they get to the items. Of course, there's a lot of economy that I'm requiring for their heroes to shine, and if they want to do that role.
Yeah, a lot of ifs, a lot of buts, but ultimately the core concept still remains true. 6
Lesh and
seconds
Lina
left on
ban,
both teams here, by the way.
I mean, they banned Lesh and Lina. Surely this is SF mid. Like, these are two very anti-SF heroes that they're banning out.
Yeah, same thing I mentioned before with the ability to clear
Yeah.
waves.
10 seconds remaining.
Fine.
All right, yeah, I kind of feel like Sammy Boy, aka Samson, in
5
game.
seconds
This is
remaining.
his hero. I would expect. Give me a Faceless Void with time thingy. Nope.
Oh, nope, it's going to be SF carry and Void Spirit in the mid. All right.
I was really
Ooh.
hoping that we were gonna cook up some like Legion duel plus thingy, but just to clarify, when I said the Faceless Void with the time thing, that was a meme. I think that is one of the worst spells in the game, and I find it hilarious when anyone picks it against me, because clearly it's their first game playing the Faceless Void time facet, not Chrono, and then they play it for 12 minutes, 20 minutes, and they hate every part about it, and they never do again. But anyway, they go for Void Spirit.
Choose your
Yep.
hero.
Gives them a bit more jump, gives them a bit more catch. You know, in fairness, now they've picked it, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I think we can just really bully this Venomancer and Dark Willow, because whilst
Wait
they
a
are
second.
strong supports, they're also killable supports, and they need to die.
This could be a world where Samson plays the Void Spirit in a carry role. Like, I feel like this is the type of team after game one to be this type of team. You know, like they're holding. Okay, they go for Shadow Fiend carry. I was
Okay,
gonna
all right,
quickly, you know, hold the analysis for a second. They're taking some time to pick heroes. I was reading into it a little bit, and yeah, it isn't to be the case, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, no cooking going on here. And so it's all staying nice and sober here on the Apex Genesis side, as it will just be the Void Spirit mid and the Sammy Boy Shadow Fiend in the safe lane. And it's going to be a Timbersaw coming out for 4Amigos as the final pick here. Didn't really mention that one, but that's going to be the mid hero for them. So something nice and tanky to stick on the front line. Something you don't really want to duel. Unlikely won't be able to kill off inside of a duel. They don't really have tons of damage to throw down into it anyway. So yeah, I think it's a good pick. I think it can bully quite a lot as well. And
I think
should create some issues for Void Spirit in the first few levels at least.
in regards to drafts, this is probably the strongest draft that 4Amigos have presented. Sure, you have like the X factor of Legion into some of the earlier picks of 4Amigos, but you know the concepts hold true, right? You've got a Troll Warlord versus Shadow Fiend matchup where Troll will be the better carry with items. Again, ignore Duel coming into play there. You've got the aggression of Sand King with a Timbersaw, and there's no real rebuttal other than Apex Genesis doing well enough to have levels to then kill them off, because an early Shroud on a Timbersaw with his facet for some reason, or I can't remember, innate or facet, whatever the one is, the figure of 8 damage dealing stupid thing for some reason where he gets a free pure damage for no reason. Like, it is overwhelming, right? So I think the entire game for me is simply, can 4Amigos get Monkeys Forever into an early blink and play behind him, because RCUI wants to be aggressive. If the Sand King gets online at a correct time to play with the Venom and the Willow with good levels, with the Wisdom Runes, then this game could just be go, 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 kill, 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 right? Timber, Sand King, constant fighting.
Yeah, they can set a scary pace.
They can set a scary pace, right? So I am really focused. Can they bring their lanes to life? They've struggled so many times now. This is their time to do it. They have all the heroes. They have everything to do it. I'm excited to see if they can bring it into a competitive series.
Fade's going to be caught here, though. It's a 5-man smoke gank. Fade taking a lot of damage, though, doing a lot of damage back there with the overwhelming odds. Might it be enough to turn it around and get the first blood? Yes, it will! Monkeys Forever's the one that goes down instead. Fade falls into the grave quickly, but Albino Zebra also going to die now. Wish and Sammy looking for RCY. He's taking heavy hits on this Timbersaw. Sammy's got another raise available. He's going to get into range. The right click was all that's needed. And they get themselves 3 kills on the side of Apex Genesis. Huge turnaround for them. It was the Fade Bolt with the overwhelming odds. Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, we saw a 5-man overwhelming odds. We saw 5-man Resonant Pulse. 5-man Crystal
Fade Bolt.
Nova. Yeah. It was great idea from Amigos, right? You want to go aggressive, get the kill, set the pace. But you may have run into some of the stronger AoE spells of the game at level 1.
And there it is. Better late than never. The tip comes out. RCY, 2 Monkeys Forever. A little just into team tipping.
Yeah.
And of course, Sammy can't resist getting involved as well because he
likes to
He
talk.
loves RCY.
Yeah. Quite a vocal player, but of course Monkeys Forever will be facing the repercussions of his attempt at killing. I think Sand King leveling Burrow Strike is... It feels good in the moment when you get a kill, but then 5 seconds later when you walk to lane, you're like, I wish I had Stinger, or just, any way to actually push out the lane.
Without getting yourself killed on the process, especially into a Shadow Fiend where you can't step up too close to him anyway. Yeah,
And levels are going to be so important in bot lane. Crystal Maiden, Shadow Fiend. As soon as you hit level 2, that is going to be a Frostbite into triple raise. Heroes will be dying if they get caught by that combination. Probably why they wanted to put the Shadow Fiend into carry, specifically just to shut down Monkeys Forever.
They don't like him. That much has been obvious.
He's always just been drafted to be like the main playmaker, right? I think this time at least RCY has taken a little bit of the weight off of Monkeys Forever's shoulders. There's been 3 games that they've just been putting like 100-kilogram dumbbell on his back. Like, hey buddy, if you don't make plays, we lose. It's like crushing him into the ground. But this time around, like Timbersaw actually, he can open up the map this time.
Yeah, there's definitely playmaking to be made for RCY, which is a relief because we haven't really seen any of the playmaking heroes so far. Like, I think he maybe had an Earth Spirit game where they just didn't really get to play in. Yeah, that was a bit tricky. I'm surprised that Albino Zebra actually went for Venomous Gale level 1. Or maybe it was level 2, I can't remember. But against the Legion Commander, it's always a bit awkward because, you know, Pressy attack shares the same cooldown pretty much. Like
it's always the argument of, I mean, Plague Ward is so bad level 1. And would you rather level Venomous Gale and force Fade to use his mana? Because now he's having to use a 110 mana spell, which now is every time he presses that, he's not using overwhelming odds to pressure his carry, right? So it's pretty good to level it. Because it's like, I use Gale, you use mana to stop my Gale, now my troll doesn't get take damage. So I think it's perfectly fine to level it up.
I mean, if you had Plague Carrier, then Plague Wolves would have been great, but, you know, for some reason people don't get that, so I don't know why.
For some crazy reason. As if Patient Zero wasn't one of the best facets. Why, yeah. Good old Venomancer. He needed a buff after the last patch, that's for sure.
I'm glad we're getting
Hope you can hear my British sarcasm at 2 in the morning.
Hey, have you seen the XM Veno mid? That's what I've been telling about people about recently.
Oof. I've not
It's not
dabbled
good,
into
but
it yet.
it's funny.
Does he go for the Play Ward one?
He doesn't actually. He goes for Patient Zero, but he gets the
Come on.
he gets the Aghanims with like a Blight Stone and an Orb of Venom and like an urn. And
Okay.
he just goes and clicks people. It's so funny just watching a Veno like 100
Oh,
to 0
that's a lot of
something.
damage in top lane, sorry.
Oh yeah, Double King is gonna go down to the top
cut you
side
off.
as Big Nim and Fade. Yeah,
And that's
they
why
take
I
him
say,
down.
the troll pick's a bait pick, I think. Into Legion, on paper, you think right-clicking hero, troll pick, good. Whirling axes feels nice, mischance.
Big Nim?
But when you have overwhelming odds, it's so much damage, and the range of it, it's so big. Like, why? When you hover on overwhelming odds, it absorbs pretty much the entire lane. It's so unnecessary. I think a future patch, like a B patch, that can just have increased range on like on its AoE or something.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, I feel the same thing about Shadow Razors as well. Like, why is the Venn diagram of Shadow Razors so ridiculous? As we're seeing here in the bottom lane, literally, as I spoke about it, it happened. That guy had no business being caught by the short range raise there, but unlucky Roseanne. Top side, Albino, he's gonna be alright. Are you a zebra enjoyer or a zebra enjoyer? You're British, of course you're a zebra enjoyer.
yeah, Zebra enjoyer.
Good, good, good. I got bullied
But
so much for
sometimes-
this on the NAD PC.
Sure, you probably were working with some Americans at the time, or international English speakers who.
It does feel.
Yeah,
I think the vast majority prefer zebra, sorry, which is
Zebra? No, it's just Zebra.
yeah, we're big zebras. Oh my god, Albino.
Yeah,
He's
nice.
playing a dangerous game right now, but they are going to be able to bring Fade down. No mana available. So, and a salve delivered just in time. How handy.
Dire's structures
Oh, speed.
fortified.
Okay, bot lane was real weird for a second. Like, Samson just started going onto the Sand King. Speed was shopping, so he started using raises, and then Monkey's like, wait a second, where's CM? Oh, okay, I can play the lane. It was really weird.
Oh, looks like there
Now
might be a
Speed's
dead
TPing to
Bignum.
mid.
He's got a 10
Sorry,
stick, so he's
mid
going to
lane.
be able to use it for now. We got a support battle going on though, guys. Oh,
Doesn't matter,
Bignum wins
the
it.
core is way more
And-
important.
Yeah, a few are full people. I'm disappointed.
No, I think the position 5 TPing to a mid lane to kill off a Timbersaw, who was the second playmaker of the game after the first playmaker of Sand King's been shut down. I think that's a very cool idea. That needs to be documented for the.
Willow. It's like so many spells being used. Great.
Sure, that's fair enough. Well, either way, a lot of kills
Oh,
are occurring
Monkey's
to Apex
dead.
Genesis. Yeah,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
This is a brutal
think-
lane, to be fair.
Is
But
under attack.
It's like it all comes down to the idea like Roseanne TP's top to kill Fade feels good, but now you're on the opposite side of the map. Don't twin gate down to help out Sand King. Meanwhile, Speed kills mid Timbersaw, rotates back bottom, kills Sand King. Like Speed has now just killed the mid and the offlaner. Double twin gate utilization from the carry and the support. Now they're gonna bump into
oh,
the Zebra, who does die.
but Double King, he's got no way out of this. He's got no counterplay. And Sammy just going to get right up in his face. I don't care about your axes. Goes for the point blank Shadow Raise, and they'll be able to bring him down. That's what I mean. I love seeing
Falling
the carry
apart.
counter rotation when you're having a game this good. It's beautiful stuff. Everybody can utilize the twin gate in the right situation. That's what you got to learn.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wish giving RCY the old 1-2 in the middle lane, but pretty far above on every roll right now. It's not looking like it's
Yep.
going to be a break in the kind of rough start to games that they've had so far on for Amigos, but yeah, looking absolutely great for Apex Genesis. Need I say, dare I say, even better than game 1.
No, I think for map movement and general aggression, probably better. I think Speed showed some really nice reads for like mid moves. Same thing as well for Samson going top as well. Like I think yeah, move wise this game has felt a lot cleaner. Net worth also for sure looking very healthy. And if you are a 4Amigos fan right now, you need to look towards your Timber and your Sand King. If you look at their items, they have nothing. RCY is looking for the Kaya. Monkey's Forever is yet to really show us what he wants to buy. Of course, traditionally this would
Wants to
be a
finish his
Blink Dagger.
boots.
We'll see where it goes. 10 for 2 at the 8-minute mark. Game 1, very one-sided. Game 2 looks as if it is going to be going that way.
I'm just
Look
excited
for it.
to
It's gonna
find
go
out
for
what
the
boots
veil.
Monkey's Forever's going to get. Maybe none. Maybe no boots. Just brown. Double King in some trouble. By some trouble, I mean, he might be okay. He has got himself a battle trance available. Gonna have to use it here, but I don't think Wish cares too much. Just gonna keep his distance. Duel comes in. Yeah, Fade will take the freebie. And there you go. Double King goes down. Monkey's also dying down to the bottom side to the Crystal Maiden and the Shadow Fiend.
Dire's top tower is
As,
under attack.
Albino starts gonna clicking away at Bignum. Bignum just pieces out. Bye-bye. That'll be that. So, they get the Void Spirit kill. You know, it's decent.
Yeah, it's a kill.
RCY gets himself a little bit closer to the Kaya, and also threatening on to Bignum here whilst he's at it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, well, ooh, denied.
Dire's bottom tower has been
This is where the comeback begins, no man.
Yeah, here we go. That's Sammy's. He's
Not
furious
mid
about it.
lane,
It's in the middle lane. They're going on to RCY once again, and with the jump through on the interrupt coming on through as well, RCY will go down. Roseanne and Albino can't really do a whole lot of that. Seeing very few kind of throwaway stuns to help out with that.
is under attack.
Oh,
CM just gets the
please.
full ulti, and Sammy, my god.
Fair play to Samson, right? Super active on the map.
Oh yeah, he's over
Like, for a shadow feed right now. Oh yeah, I'm really impressed at just the natural aggression he's bringing. Of course, it helps he has played multiple roles in the last year or two, so like his map play has been a lot stronger because of that. And seeing it here,
not too sure about
Yeah,
this
it's
one.
very
Double King's
ambitious,
now got a
yeah.
ton of attack speed laid down onto Fade, and yeah, with RCY coming through as well, Twisted Chakram won't find it, but the Battle Trance will. Down goes Fade, a little bit aggressive there, and again, these are the mistakes we're talking about when you're this far ahead. Those mistakes, they do cost a lot. Bignum stealing the Timber Chain, trying to get himself away, gets himself out of the Bramble Maze, and over to safety.
Wish tried to go hunting,
Is under
but
attack.
he's not successful until he shows himself on the wall.
It's always a ward. Always a ward.
If
Albino
there's a
Zebra
ward, there's a way.
goes down. All right, RCY very, very close now to the Kaya, closing onto this burst item. Not exactly that big game-changing oof item you want to see, but nevertheless, better than nothing. Better than what Monkeys
Yeah.
Forever has got. Yeah.
Oh yeah. For Amigos, we've covered both of their series today, and it just feels like at the 15-minute mark, not even like 10 to 15-minute mark, there's always at least 2 cores that have 0 game. And because of that, like there is no natural let's go smoke do something, right? It's either their off lane's been shut down, their mid lane's been ganked, their carry has been shoved out. Like there's always an overlap of 2 cores who desperately are crying for people to make moves so they can like recover their game. And that is never a good position to be in. As I say that, Apex Genesis are smoked up, going with a double king. He doesn't have
It's a
mana
great
for his
kill. He
ultimate.
doesn't have the mana for the battle trance. They will be able to bring him down. You can see the speed there, even committing the freezing field, kind of expecting him to be able to get off that ult, but doesn't happen. They get the kill, and now a duel comes down. Roseanne, what are you doing here? This is no place for you. Gentle Willow,
Dire's
she will
top
go
tower
down as
is
well.
under
Fade gets
attack.
another duel win, up to 20 damage now. 7k gold
17 for
advantage,
4.
17 kills to 4.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
It really just kind of shows like the tier system of NA, right? Like the fact that this team gets slapped by Shopify, but then they slap 4 Amigos, and that's why I'm so excited for it, like for tomorrow's series. Like Apex Genesis versus Nouns. Of course, Nouns are the better, like favorite team, the better team, more international experience, sponsorship, organization, blah blah blah, all this stuff. But like, there's still something inside of me. It's like I could see a 2-1. I still think Nouns
This team's
should
the threat, for sure.
Like, I think it's still 70-30 to Nouns, right? But the fact that I'm like, it's just it takes like one draft, one game, but yeah, again, very intrigued to know tomorrow. I think Shopify will be pretty confident no matter who they play in the grand finals. But again, let's not get carried away. Currently are in game 2. Another smoke from Apex Genesis. They killed top. Of course, they need to smoke if they want to get past the Plague Wards. Why Venomous is so strong. This lingering vision that can slow down heroes. See their movements. Monkeys Forever. He's been stacking up this ancient camp by himself.
No.
He wanted to farm it, and it just gets taken
Monkeys.
away. No.
He's going again. He's
And
like,
then he's
please,
no.
Stinger, please. Just Stinger a couple of them. I don't want them all. I just want a couple of big creeps. Spy back from the Venomancer, jump into the sidelines, just going to try and blow up Wish. And with a beautiful Terrorize, that's going to become a reality. Down goes the Void Spirit, and back go the side of Apex. They're not looking to fight into this, but Albino has found the slow onto Fade. But more importantly, speed is dead on the side, so 2 decent kills, and yeah, that does kind of dent into the net worth advantage just a little bit.
Yeah. it helps a lot. I think for Four Amigos right now, they are playing the game of how quickly can we get to Eternal Shroud on Timbersaw, right? Like, if he can get to the Shroud, that'll at least give him some life of not dying to the Fade Bolt, or not the Fade Bolt, but the damage of Rubik with Crystal Maiden and the Void Spirit as well. I mean, there's so much cheap magic damage from pretty much like every hero that if Timbersaw can at least cushion 2, 3, 4 instances of that, that's where now, you know, Monkeys Forever, if he gets a Blink Dagger, can bring that in. And he's only 200 gold away. Like, those 2 kills, the assist gold, super important. Like, when you look at the math of assist gold, if you're down 10k and getting kills of anyone with good economy or streaks, you're suddenly bringing over like what 400 or 500 gold across your team. And it also kind of helped Monkeys got both of the kills on Wish and Speed. That also is a big cash injection.
Jumping in, getting off the duel onto Double King, and that's going to be a kill. Just about enough damage to get through his life. Great catch there from the Legion Commander. Great read on the map as well. As Wish comes up from behind, finds the Venomancer. Immediately pop in the Illusion Rune to get off that debuff, get a bit of extra damage in, and kill off Albino Zebra.
He's rushing the Aghanims. Of course, still the same. You get 2 charges, apply silence. It's very disruptive. A lot of spell casting is required for Four Amigos as they throw some spells actually into Fade, with the Blink Dagger
here. They should be able to finish him off, and Monkeys Forever gets himself. He's on a killing spree.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
kills.
how, but
yeah, he killed the Kunkka. Wish just plays a lot of Kunkka, so when I see his name, I think of Kunkka. He killed the Void Spirit, the Crystal Maiden, and the Legion Commander. So that is a 3-kill streak Monkeys Forever on.
Holy moly, he's back. We get to see him play the game for the first time today.
And he also wants to go Shroud. Like, they know the item to get them into this game. Timbersaw is very close to his one. Blink Dagger will be like, okay, there is some life for Four Amigos. Just a little bit, a smidge. Win probability is probably, yeah, it probably went from like 85 to 80%, but along those lines. Oh, Troll, no!
Oh, not again. It keeps happening. Fade just has Double King's number, and he's just dialing on repeat. He's dropping into the DMs. Hey, baby, what you doing? You up? And he's not up. He's dead. Top tower falls. Middle tower going to be next on the agenda for Apex Genesis. Four Amigos, is there anything you can do about it? He hasn't even finished his Battle Fury on the Troll. My god. My guy's not no game. RCY getting beaten down here as well. Dares to show himself in the middle. Monkeys tries to come in and help out, but he's just going to get thrown into the blender as well. Crystal Maiden getting off so much damage in this fight. Even the Terrorizer is going to miss now as they jump in and just try to blow up Monkeys, and they do so, and now the Willow's going to fall as well. And there's that poison bouncing around, but they don't give a damn. 3 dead on the Four Amigos. An interesting jump to make. I mean, I feel like they're just trying to make some space for Double King, trying to give him some sort of game here, but guy was already dead. And now Aghanim's finished off for Wish as well.
And Timber was like 200 gold away from his Shroud. Like, maybe if Timber has Shroud, then he can become the frontline wall to then set up for like an Epi behind. But Monkeys was jumping in without Epi, plus Timber dying as well. Like, it was very, very disjointed for Amigos. And Venomancer going down again. There is no way for him to survive at this stage of the game. He needs a 4-star or a Glimmer, or you could argue a mech, but still, there's nothing he can buy. There's a 15,000 gold lead at this 18-minute mark.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's 2 Smackdowns in a row by the looks of it. For Amigos, I don't fancy their chance of coming back into this one. You have ways, and Monkeys Forever is going to be one of those ways right now as a jump in and Burst Strike through to the 2 of them, but they can't even kill off the Rubik. The turnaround is there. Fate jumps in, gets the duel, kills the Double King. Monkeys follows him down. And yeah, I mean, the commitment just wasn't there on that play, honestly. Like, RCY, I don't know why I didn't kind of commit on that, but the Sand King drops everything, and the follow-up just hesitation. You can't blame them from the situation they're in. I mean, to be honest, even if Bignum dies, like, then what? Everybody else is going to die on Four Amigos.
No, Samson, he gets BKB, he moves the bottom a little bit, but the sweeping motions of Apex Genesis, it is so scary. Wish is leading the charge. Sees RCY, he jumps in with the silence first of all, and should be follow up if they want to bring it.
There's the second silence. I mean, there's a bit of revenge coming from the way of for Amigos. I mean, the duel's coming down, but might actually not complete. And no, they're actually be able to kill off Fade. And now they move to the next target, and that's going to be Big Num. RCY does die in this. Wish trying to fight all of them right now. Speed coming in from behind. Oh, he's got the freezing field as well. They'll lose Monkeys forever. Double King able to just about get himself away from the Crystal Maiden. Wish coming back in, looking for a target here. There's only Albino's ever left. Everybody else is TP'd out, and this is a lonely, cold, lonely, and dead Venno. No high fives either. They don't give it to him.
They don't. Yeah.
All right. I think that was the last fight where I'm like seriously considering for Amigos to come back into it, and even then it was like a maybe, just maybe. But from this point onwards, it's kind of like
Yeah, it just isn't going to be the case though, because it's like they get a kill, but that's Legion's about to get Aghanims, right? He's 1,000 gold away. He gets Aghanims now, debuff immunity, his jewels, he doesn't care anymore. He's going to get the kill.
That was his weakest point in the game, actually. They just caught him that.
Yeah. And that was like the jewel to be punished, and it just isn't to be the case at all. Like, they just don't have any damage at all. Like, unless there's an Epi plus Timbersaw working together, that's maybe when they get a kill. And it just...
Four Amigos
the
counting down their
strong,
final days here. Hope they get their bucket list items checked off.
And luckily for them, there's going to be a little bit of time before the next round of qualifiers for other tournaments. So they will be able to maybe... And ooh, Wish.
Okay, well, they get the Tormentor, but they lose Double King. Monkeys might be going down as well. He does get the blink out in the last second, actually, so he gets himself away. A very awkward place to chase a Dark Willow because of all of those darn bushes. But nevertheless, they get themselves out.
It's like, at least give them something, right? Like, Wish, come on, man. Like,
hey, they got the Tormentor, okay? Wish wasn't able to
sure,
steal
but then
the
they had to just slaughter them after. It's like, you here's your gift, bam! Get out of here. Meanwhile, mid lane also, Willow getting sent to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, for good this time. Some tips going back and forth. Burrow Strike Rubik, very, very scary indeed. The middle barracks die. Sammy, he's just got so much damage. Anti-armor as well, to boot. What's the most interesting thing that you do? Do you have like any stuff, you know, on the bucket list? Anything weird you wanna do?
You mean in
I
Dota
want
or
one
in
of those
life?
Alpine coasters. They look really cool.
I've been fortunate enough, I've already jumped out of the plane. That used to be one, which I didn't really want to do, but I did get to do it, so yeah, that's cool. That
sounds cool. Just do it one day. Just went, you know what?
Yeah, my brother was like, yo, you want it? Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. It was on the way to TI. It was a lot quicker. Just basically skip security. Yeah.
I've always considered that, you know, if you're flying over your destination to get to the airport, then you should just let people jump out. Be efficient. All right, I don't know what the four Amigos are doing here. They're on expedition.
There's 5 of them, and they're ready to fight. This is it.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has been red. This has been very, very red. Or has it? Yes, it has. Everybody silenced. Very, very red. Red like a book. Red like a very, very easy book as well. Not even a hard book, like a picture book or something. Sammy just unleashing onto Monkeys forever right now. All 3 of them dead. Double King just trying to get away with his life. It was a cute idea, but yeah, due to the kill on Big Dumb up the top side, I think they were like, yeah, Apex Genesis already.
I mean, you're saying picture book. I think it's like a pop-up book of despair. Like they tried to make a big move, right? And they just, yep. Apex Genesis just not allowing any of these very small, you know, glimmer of hope plays to make them have any joy at all. Roshan will be falling. Shadowfin will be collecting that. It's a daedalus.
In case you're wondering about the quality of Shadow Fiend's new spell, by the way, Sammy Boy has opted for stats instead of it. So, yeah, Feast of Souls not valued the ability with 1 point in it.
I mean, Fortune Task is still pretty good by itself, right? So I could see some arguments of if I get jumped, I'd rather survive with extra HP to get 40. Do I really need another 30 attack speed compared to leveling stats? I can see the argument. Not opposed to it. If it scaled harder, then I could probably see them leveling it. Like if it went from, let's say, like 20 to 40, then like 80 or something. Different story.
Yeah, it's just,
I like
it
it.
just sucks to lose 5 souls just arbitrarily like that. 5 souls is quite a lot. And 75 mana as well. Like, I feel like it shouldn't cost mana actually. That would probably make a bit more sense. Then you could use it for farming and what's not.
Make
I don't know.
like
Either
a
way,
Huskar version.
Yeah.
Every spell from Shadow Fiend, he loses souls to use. So he's like a scuffed Huskar, where Huskar uses life, Shadow Fiend loses souls.
Yeah. I like it. We're cooking.
Oh no. 7.36B. Shadow Fiend now uses souls. Fuck. They were listening.
Yeah. Whoops. No one picks it. 0% pick rate. Who did this?
Who thought of this terrible idea? They linked the cast like, ah, God, no, sorry. We're just memeing, man. It's like 2:30 in the morning.
There goes the terrorize, and there goes the press the attack in response. But here we go, tanking. He wants to get involved. He wants to take the Aegis, and he's not going to do so. He's just going to get blown up by the Shadow Fiend, jumping in, looking for more. They'll take down Double King as well. Bino's already dead. I'll see why trying to get up a bit of damage on the Timbersaw as he jumps in the middle of this, but it's not going to work. The crit comes in. Down goes the Timbersaw as well. 3 dead. Is there anything left in the tank, or is it all empty? Are they ready to go down? It's an ultra kill. Razan. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
He's going to give it to him as
it.
well.
Nice.
Come. Good luck. Good luck. That's a sweet end. That's a touching end, isn't it? That's
I mean,
slice.
that's
And a good,
beautiful.
good luck, Sammy, as well.
No, I mean, that's a, yeah. I think that's the type of series, I think no matter who wins this series, for me to even entertain the idea of Noun series being competitive, this had to be a 2-0. This had to be a super one-sided series. We already saw 4 Amigos play up against Nouns, and it just wasn't close. So it was all on Apex Genesis. Coming into this series, they play up against a team that had already lost to the next team in the bracket. They had to show us, can they swiftly 2-0? Can they put on a dominant enough performance to give the NA fans hope that this isn't just going to be a Nouns vs Shopify repeat? And I feel like Apex Genesis, they've done enough to convince us.
They poisoned the well.
It should be 3. I feel like there's something internal. Like there should be 3 games. There's also another world where they get into the series and Nouns just, unlock that ability to be the top 2 team in the region and just, swap them aside and we could see a repeat. But I think at least some stuff that we've seen in this lower bracket game, if you fully ignore the Shopify series, this stuff in this series does give a little bit of hope for the next step up to be, again, 70-30 to Nouns, but beforehand I'd have said like 90-10 to Nouns. So I think this series has given me a little bit of a shift, but again, it's still majority favorite Nouns. Excited to see the series when it does play out.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think there's, going to be a good lower brackets finals tomorrow between the 2 teams. There'll be some ideas. There'll be some fight coming out from these guys at the very least, which is what we want. Which is absolutely what we want to see. Individually, if you had to give an MVP for the series, who do you think it would be?
Ooh, for the series,
Mhm.
I would probably go with. I mean, Wish Game 2 was exceptionally good, but I'd even actually, I'd argue. I think Sammy Boy or Samson, like the aggressive moves from the Ursa, paired with he's going for an 11-minute Roshan right on Ursa. But then he's also on Shadow Fiend. He's using Twin Gates to go kill top, but go back to farm. Then he's taking mid tower. So I think
It's
in
very
regards to
carry gameplay,
the logic of aggression, he gets MVP. But if you want to go for a MVP of that last game, it has to be Wish on the Void Spirit, right? He fully dismantled this team by rushing Aghanims.
Yeah, that was a problem. I mean, when you're this far ahead, the Aghanims feels super bad to play into as well. Like, just this guy running into you all, silencing you all, you're not going to have your dispels ready, you're not going to have your damage to actually threaten his life. He can do whatever he wants. Recognizing that, building appropriately, and completely taking him down was super convincing. And the four Amigos are no longer. They are now eliminated from the Esports World Cup, which means the bracket looks something a little bit like this. We now have Nouns and Apex Genesis set to play tomorrow as the first series of the day. That'll be a lower bracket finals. The winner of that goes on to play against Shopify Rebellion. It will be a repeat either way. Shopify Rebellion have already 2-0'd both of them. Who is it going to be in those grand finals against them? That is what we are going to find out. No big upsets here, really. I think maybe some people expected Four Amigos to do a little bit better in this series, but at the same time, that both very untested teams, hard to get a power ranking on them. And ultimately, Apex Genesis, they have brought in a couple of international players to give them that extra little bit of edge, and it definitely seems to have paid off here.
Yeah, no, pretty much. I kind of, I don't want to really repeat my points too much, but Shopify clear favorites at winning this qualifier. I think the closest there is to
Especially
beating
after
them.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, after today, yeah, exactly. And like closest, of course, is be Nouns, and sure, it could happen, but at least previous qualifiers have dictated that isn't often to be the case. Maybe in early inception of the region and the post DPC format, there was some life to Nouns qualifying to PG over Lahia, but other than that, it's been Shopify going to everything else, and at least at the current course, it does probably feel to be that way. But yeah, again, it's the NA region. Unfortunately, it isn't as competitive as other regions. I am very excited for the day where we get to wake up and go, what? Like maybe it's this time around. But again, Apex Genesis.
We'll see.
Could do it, maybe. Nouns, probably, might, maybe, who knows. But Shopify, they are the favorites. We're not covering it, but we'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah,
so,
we're done with NA now, guys. I hope you enjoyed our cast, and a couple of series we were able to cover over here. We certainly did, and I'll see you guys around. And thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of NA tomorrow. But from us, we're signing off. Thank you, thanks for watching, and good night.